don't know why they call it potluck, but it's this Friday at my house, and Diane, Melvin, Sherry are all making something.
This Friday?
At 7.
Oh, I can't make it. I have other plans.
Plans?
Is that going to be poker?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, at least Collier and his Burt buddies play till Henry passes out. What do you mean you have other plans?
Do they play Texas Hold'em, stud, follow the queen?
I don't know, and I'm not sure they do either after that first six-pack disappears. It isn't another date, is it?
I'm just going out with some friends.
Oh? What friends?
A couple of new girlfriends, and Kara's little sister Cassandra. Do you remember her?
Did she play Angela Davis in her high school play?
That's her.
Invite them.
Who?
All of them. Invite all of them.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Sure it is. Any friend of yours is a friend of mine, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, come on. Give me that mail, would you? It'll be a hoot.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. In my wild, beautiful world, you will have flown. It's easy now. I'll be all alone.
Alarm. Late. No breakfast. Sorry. Bill? Graham, you gonna be late for your ex parte hearing?
On what case? Whoever it is, bill them quickly. We need the money.
It's fixed. 5 years later, but it's fixed.
Do you know who your opposing counsel is on your hearing today?
Another insurance company stiff.
Not this time. Scott Monroe of Monroe, Myers & Kearns, D.C.
Do you know him?
Oh, yeah, I've gone up against him a couple of times in D.C. He's a shark.
Guess I better change clothes then, huh?
Tell me about the original case.
I won it. About a year ago. Got $1.5 million from some insurance company. They denied Margaret Turner's 17-year-old son, Steve, the chance to live another year. Wouldn't agree to pay for some new experimental type of drug. He died a week before graduating high school. Better? From AIDS. Blood transfusion.
Monroe didn't try the original case. But he comes all the way down here just to file paperwork for a new trial. Graham, do you mind if I come along?
Sure. Hey, maybe later we can go hear that new blues trio at Ruby D's.
Sounds tempting. Let's see how it goes with Monroe.
Emmy?
Hey!
You know, I could not get chocolate pudding to stay in the middle of this thing to save my life. Here you go. Thanks, anyway.
Sure. Diane?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll just do a Jell-O mold.
I'm inviting Renee and her friends to the party Friday night.
Why?
I thought it'd be fun.
Why?
Well, Diane, now that you're all grown up, I think you might like Renee. Maybe even her friends.
Aren't all her friends
Black? Come on, Diane, you can say it. Black. That's right. All of Renee's friends are black, and all of your friends are...
white?
Yes, I knew you could do it.
But Emmy, I think it's just gonna spoil the party's chemistry.
Well, Diane, I failed chemistry twice. Maybe the third time's the charm.
What are you gonna cook?
I don't know. I hadn't even thought about it.
Emmy, we don't even like the same food they do.
No one likes your pot roast, Diane. And what do you mean, they?
And what about the music? Don't they all listen to that Soul Sister stuff? We don't even read the same magazines.
Get a grip, Diane. It's a party, not a summit meeting.
Your Honor, I take it that Mr. Monroe is not only here to recount his client's loss of $1.5 million in our courts.
Now, that's correct, Your Honor. I am here, however, to submit additional research by my firm, revealing that juror number 8 has contracted the AIDS virus, giving him an overdose of bias in this case. Now, since the verdict of which Mr. Pierce is so proud was determined by the legal minimum of a 9-3 vote, the loss of juror number 8 would change that to 8-3, thereby making it a hung jury and reason itself for a new trial.
Besides Mr. Monroe's word, Your Honor, about juror number 8's condition, is there any proof that might validate?
Your validation.
Mr. Pierce?
At this time, Your Honor, I will stipulate that subject to verification of where this information...
Your Honor, Ms. Jackson, and I know from our previous encounters, the scrutiny of the public can be so awfully harsh and unnecessarily brutal, so I'm also requesting that this information be sealed.
Your Honor, if the information that Mr. Monroe is presenting is accurate, we agree that all such files gladly be sealed.
If you're questioning the authenticity of my information, Renee, I've already prepared the necessary paperwork to depose the juror and his doctor.
I'm sure you have, Scott. But the more relevant information is the actual date that juror number 8 contracted AIDS, which would require more discovery from both of us, because if it was after the trial, it would have absolutely no bearing.
Ms. Jackson, I think that's enough Law 101 for the day. Anything else, Mr. Monroe?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pierce?
What the hell was that about?
He could have phoned all that in. Yes, and Chained is still grandstanding in theatrics.
I'm talking about you, Renee. Why did you intercede? This is my case.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Graham, but I'd like to assist you on this one.
I think I can handle it.
I know that, but I've played his game before. I know how to handle him.
The law is the law, Renee.
With Monroe, it's not about the law. It's about how he makes the jury feel about the law.
I'll try and keep that in mind.
I'm Birdie, I'm 11. Me too. I'm Renee. Is that your boss's daughter? No. She's my best friend. Her name's Amy. She plays baseball. How come she has to sleep in my bed, Mama?
It's like I told you before, Renee. Your daddy is helping Miss Frances May, and until he's finished doing so, both she and her daughter are our guests, and will be treated as such. Now that's that.
It was the 6th time that I came to the city and tried registering to make my votes. They took all us ladies off the bus, Mr. Jackson. They said they was arresting us because the school bus was too yellow. Oh. Thank you, honey.
What happened to your face?
Renee, that's enough.
Go on now, baby.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Somebody hit your mama? Bunches of times. I have a radio. Want to listen? Sure.
So you're going to take the case away from him?
It's what I would have done in D.C. I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Well, it's not exactly how to win friends and influence people down here.
What the hell is this? Are you still having that party?
Just look up and tell me what kind of spices I'm supposed to put in here. So I guess things get kind of personal inside the belt loop.
Beltway.
Whatever.
It does. Try cumin. Basically, he kicked my ass and enjoyed it.
Ouch, how? Cumin, I should have known that.
Spinning articles everywhere, making me out to be an overzealous, bra-burning, black civil rights wacko from the yeah.
Wow, pushed a big major button there, huh? Okay. Taste. Too much salt? I knew it. What is it?
You know, since I've been home, it's like, I don't know.
What?
It feels like I've taken 20 steps back into the past. I'm afraid to become what I was in D.C., which was a damn good lawyer.
Well, I'll tell you. Collier has a saying. He says to me, Mary Elizabeth, it's like the Marines. Be the best you can be, and then blow the hell out of anybody who gets in your way. All right, now, try. Oh, well, now does this mean that you and your other friends are going to come to my party 7 o'clock Friday night? And please don't be late.
Okay, we'll be there.
What happened between you and Monroe? Why the vendetta with this guy?
It's nothing like that. It's about who can get the best deal for our client.
This is not about a client. This is about you, Renee.
Graham, I can win this case.
Renee, I already did.
I know Monroe. I know how he thinks.
Margaret Turner is my client, and I know how she thinks.
I have to do what I think is best for the client. I'm taking over the case.
How the hell can they do this? Putting me through this all again.
Margaret, the insurance company wants to retry this case because they're afraid of all the other mothers and fathers that might want to sue them if they actually have to pay you this $1.5 million.
Steve's been gone almost a whole year. I just want to be left alone with my memories.
Margaret, do you trust me as a friend?
You know I do, Graham.
All right, then. Now, there's lots of different ways to handle a situation like this. And there's likely to be plenty of different opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I won the last case for you, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
As your lawyer, will you do as I recommend?
I will.
Margaret, I'd like you to meet your new attorney.
I'm sorry we have to meet under these circumstances. I'm Renee Jackson.
Are you Mary Elizabeth O'Brien?
Yes?
I am coming to your party tomorrow night.
Oh, Cassandra?
Not anymore. My African name is Imani.
Like the designer?
No, not Armani. Imani.
Oh. Well, now, don't dress up. It's just casual.
Sisterhood. I find it paints a rather simplistic image of the working class black female.
Well, I just... some makeup tips. How do you feel about poker? Because at the party we...
I like bid whist.
What?
It's a card game.
Oh, yeah, right. I knew that. Well, we don't want to talk too much now, do we? Won't have anything to talk about at the party.
I found a seedless one, Mom.
This ought to be enlightening.
3552. I swear I'd rather die and not tell about our secrets, but across my heart I will not tell, because if I do, I'll go to hell. Hi, Emmy. This is Birdie. We're just playing. You want to play? No. What kind of dumb name is Birdie? I don't know, ma'am. She's staying at my house till her mama finishes working with... That's not your dress, Birdie. No, ma'am, it's hers. She let me wear it while I let her play with my doll. It's hot in here. Open that door. Yes, ma'am. That's not enough. Yes, ma'am. You don't have to talk to her like that. She's only a me. Call her stupid all the time. Not supposed to be here. I didn't see no signs up anywheres. Come on, Birdie. We're going to see where my daddy works. You shouldn't have brought her here. Now you're going to hell, Renee Jackson.
Renee, always nice to see you. Mr. McElvey, Renee Jackson.
My pleasure, Ms. Jackson.
Renee was one of my more attractive adversaries in D.C. Now she's here taking over her daddy's little practice in Birmingham. White wine, Renee?
What can I get you, man?
I have a single malt Scotch straight up. Macallum 25.
To the point? Take it and the motion for a new trial disappears. It's a signed check for $250,000. Now, $250,000 isn't exactly chicken scratch where Miss Turner comes from. Hell, I'll barely cover my firm's bar tab.
Steady Care Insurance must be awfully nervous about the precedent this case is set to send the golden boy himself all the way down to Birmingham.
Nervous? No, not the boys back home. I think they're just getting tired of all my boasting and bragging.
Ma'am?
I can understand that. Gentlemen, I'd be a bit nervous, too, after reading these affidavits.
I guess that would depend on who they're from.
From just all three of the detracting jurors. Looks to me like they were all fence-sitters. Any one of them would have changed their vote just to get home in time for dinner and Wheel of Fortune. With a new jury, I'd be surprised if you got one. I think I'll take my chances in court.
It's just too bad the boy died of AIDS. I hear they can be a bit short on sympathy about things like that down here in the South, Renee.
Well, it was a blood transfusion, Scott. And even down here, prejudice about AIDS is almost non-existent.
I suppose you're right. Some prejudices do change with time. It's a damn shame not all of them do.
One more thing. Mr. McElvey, don't you sit on the board of Steady Care Insurance?
You were right. You told me she was good.
Because I can't imagine how much the bad publicity would cost your company if it is leaked that besides causing the death of a 17-year-old boy, that another man, juror number 8, is being used as legal bait and put through the hell of public ridicule simply because Steady Care is unwilling to let the soul of Steve Turner rest in peace. I'm so sorry, Scott. I seem to have forgotten my manners. You see, down here in the South, a lady is never supposed to speak out of turn. Gentlemen?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do, sir.
Let me see it.
How did you get the name Birdie? I'm not telling.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Frances May Herman.
Francis, when you first tried to register, do you know that your right to do so was guaranteed by the United States Constitution?
I know that now, Mr. Jackson, but before I didn't hardly know the presidents, because on the farms, we didn't have no radios or newspapers to speak of.
And are you presently employed on this farm?
No, sir.
Why is that?
Because after 18 years of working on Mr. Anderson's farm, I was fired when they put my name in the newspaper because I was trying to register to vote.
What about the 14th and 15th Amendments? Did you know anything about those?
About as much as a donkey knows about Halloween. But I sure knows my amendments now, Mr. Jackson.
Tell me.
I'll tell you something if you tell me how you got your name. Okay, I guess. When I was little, my papa says, when I was hungry, like for my mama, I used to cry like a little baby bird waiting for a worm to drop her mouth. Cute. Your turn. Okay, but I gotta think.
Francis, what happened when you tried to register on those 6 separate occasions?
Many things, but mostly, that man there would read my answers to all the important questions I wrote and tell me I wasn't smart enough to vote in Alabama.
Okay, I got it. And he kissed a boy on the mouth. Ew.
I object, Your Honor. The register has the right to deny any person, white or black.
He does not have the right, Mr. Farrell, to have denied Frances May Herman her right to register to vote for no other reason than she's a colored woman living in the South.
Yes. One more outburst from anywhere, and I will clear this courtroom.
Why didn't you warn me?
It was your idea.
So what is this Izumi Humani did?
Her name is Imani, and it means faith.
Well, that's nice, Renee, because I think I'm going to be needing some of that. Are you here with me, Renee?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just still spinning from that meeting with Monroe.
Well, what's she do for a living?
She's a professor of African Studies.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Better tell Diane to leave that Confederate flag hair weave at the salon.
Emmy, maybe you're trying too hard to force this party.
You think?
Yes. I've always had one group of girlfriends to do certain things with and another group to do others with. You too, right?
Huh? Yeah, sure. But we all gotta eat, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Well, just tell me one thing. What do you think of Jell-O moles? How about fried chicken? Would that be wrong? It's my specialty.
And tell Mary Elizabeth not to be mad at my new friend, too, okay? Should have seen him, Mama. Everybody was watching. He was waving his arms up and down, and he was yelling louder than all of them.
Good night, sweetheart.
You should have seen my daddy, Mama.
Renee.
Scott? My office?
Do you mind?
I still enjoy the scent of a good Cuban.
I thought you might like to have this.
I recognize some of these names.
15 expert witnesses, all scheduled to testify at a cost of $5,000 apiece.
And I suppose at that price, you're wondering just how many poor Mrs. Turner can afford for a rebuttal. You must have more than this.
Well, just a contact list of 6 other attorneys from my firm that'll be retained starting 1 hour
Let
from now.
me guess. A settlement.
If the settlement agreement has not been signed by that time.
And if we go to trial and I win.
And you will. Well, here's a new case precedent and a drug study from California that states that the drug that might have kept poor Steve alive for another 12 months has since been reevaluated as extending life a maximum of 6 months. Now, you've just lost 50% of your argument before even stepping into a courtroom.
The settlement offer has been reduced to $100,000.
Well, it's just like in D.C. There's always room for negotiation.
No country music, I can understand that, Shug. But what's wrong with watermelon? Everybody likes watermelon.
Melon balls, Collier. Melon balls is the best I can do.
Have you seen my tie? I thought I dropped it here on the floor last night.
You know, Collier, some men actually own as many as 2 ties.
Found it.
Oh, maybe Renee's right. Diane and the professor together? What have I done?
It sounds to me like the professor can take care of herself.
Tell me something, Collier. Why is it that after all this time, Renee is still our only black friend?
Well, that's not true, Shug. Well, there's that Miss Farmer down at the bank and Mr. Johnson over at the school. And what about Carl, my boss? They're all black, Mary Elizabeth. And they're our friends, aren't they?
Collier, we don't know anything about those people except where they work.
I'll give you that. But we don't have any Italian friends, but that don't mean we have anything against the Italians now, does it?
Collier, would you stop and pick up a couple of things at the store for the party on your way home?
Yes, I will. Hey, Shug, what's a bid whist? And who's Mama Jamma?
Just get 'em, Collier.
Renee, this is the 12th motion faxed since 8 o'clock, and they're from 3 different attorneys.
Could I see you in my office? They're bound to run out of attorneys. We're in the trenches now. I could really use your help.
I don't do fax machines.
I need your help with research. I don't have any cards to play. He's making this a war of attrition, and we don't have the staff or the supplies to win.
You're thinking of settling.
What do you think I should do?
Are you interested in what I think?
I wouldn't be asking you, Graham, if I wasn't.
2 things. First, my reputation in my town is as important to me as yours was in D.C. Embarrassing me in front of a judge that I have appeared before over 100 times was simply wrong. And I'll help because you asked.
Fine. Let's get to work.
Come on, Emmy. She's my new friend. You're my best friend. I want us to all play together. Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, with silver buttons, all down her back. Come on, Emmy, just try it. No, I don't want to. It's easy. Watch us and then jump in. She asked her mother, for 15 cents to see the elephant jump over the fence. Now, she jumped so high, to touch the sky, and it didn't come back to the 4th of July. I don't like this game, and I don't like you. And if you like her, Renee Jackson, I don't like you either. I'm taking my tadpoles because they especially don't like you.
Monroe was right. We go back to court. Most of my original argument's now worthless.
What about finding cheap expert witnesses? I know, cheap witnesses, cheap testimony.
My eyes are shut. You need to be a doctor, not a lawyer, to try this type of case.
You have protease inhibitors highlighted. Why?
Well, that's the therapy they refused to pay for. It was experimental then, now it's in common usage.
What are these other drugs?
Combinations of drugs, they call them cocktails. But that came later, after Steve was already gone.
Look, it says here that it was later proved that protease-based combination therapy effectively put the brakes on viral replication.
It did, but it didn't cure anybody, just stopped it for a while. But Renee, that was after Steve passed away.
That if not entirely, it at least postponed for as long as possible the killer infections of late-stage AIDS.
And that's what Steve had.
Odessa! Get Monroe. He's working out of the Steadicare insurance offices.
Do we have something?
We just might. We got 25 names out of the phone book, typed them up on our letterhead, make it look official.
You got it.
Odessa! Get Monroe!
What do we do next?
Tell him I want to meet. Completely alone this time.
The original verdict of $1.5 million must be paid by 10 a.m. Monday. Didn't you try this strategy with me before and lose?
It's a signed stipulation for a new trial. Sign it, and we retry the case.
You're willing to risk $1.5 million? Okay. What do you got?
Sign the stipulation and we do battle. But if we do, I'm going to take the advice that you gave me at the end of our last trial. It's not the law that counts. It's how you make the right 12 people feel about the law that matters. And so I ask you, the jury, even according to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Monroe, Steve Turner, age 17, who died a week before his high school graduation, was robbed of 6 months of his life. The defense is willing to actually admit that. But that's not the case before you, ladies and gentlemen. Not anymore. What is, however, is the question of how much longer Steve would have lived had he been given a whole new set of drugs which were developed during those 6 months. You see, the argument before you is if Steve had been given only 6 more months of life, he would have had his entire life to look forward to, 1 year at a time, one new drug at a time, and one day, maybe even a cure. Is that the door that your client wants to open?
It's theory.
And a damn good one.
Not good enough.
Well, there is one thing more. You see, my firm did some research, too. Here's a very preliminary list of 25 others who died under similar circumstances as Steve, all insured by Steady Care Insurance. I am sure that their families would be very interested in joining a class action suit against Steady Care, along with Mrs. Turner.
I can't agree to anything that allows her to disclose the amount of any settlement or admits any wrongdoing. It's always a deal breaker.
I understand, and I'm sure that for, let's say, $2.5 million, I could convince my client of the same.
$2 million.
Done.
You might want to check this with your client.
My client knows that I do what's best for her. We have a deal?
Deal.
I'm not interested.
But $2 million, Mrs. Turner.
Look at him. That was the car he was fixing up. This is his graduation gown. Nothing's gonna bring him back. Not for a few days, even.
I understand that. They took him away from you. They are to blame. And now you can make them pay for it.
Miss Jackson, I never cared about any money. I just wanted people to know that what they did was wrong. And I want all the other mothers and fathers and brothers and their sisters who've lost a year full of memories, or like you said, maybe even a lifetime full of them, to get what they deserve. And if I can't tell anybody about what happened or how much money they paid me to forget, I'm not helping much, am I?
But Mrs. Turner, Margaret, we won.
If all this is about is how much money the death of my son is worth, I didn't win anything. Tell me, Miss Jackson, could they write a check to you for a child of yours and then tell you that they did nothing wrong? Where was their money when it could have saved my son's life?
My advice, though, Mrs. Turner, is...
Right now, I'm not interested in your advice. I can't sign it the way it is. Graham, what do you think we should do?
Collier, what is this?
It's a Jet magazine.
Yes, I can see that it is. What is it doing here?
Mary Elizabeth, you wrote buy Jet magazines on your list.
Not Jet magazines. Jet magazine. Ugh, they're here. Oh, I told them to take that. Get that other paper. Coming! Hi, Imani. Hi, this is my husband Collier. I'm Mary Elizabeth.
Mary Elizabeth, it's so nice to finally meet you. I'm Brandon.
Oh, and nice to meet you. And these are our friends Diane and Melba, Raina, Imani. Where's Renee?
Oh, she called and said she was going to be late.
Well,
Beer's here. Hey, now.
Hi, I'm Henry.
Imani.
Imani, nice to meet you. Have a beer.
Hey, bud.
How you doing, bud?
Henry, light beer again?
Oh, hell, Collier, that way I get to drink twice as much.
Come on in. Living room, dining room, wherever you want to go. Make yourself at home. Hi.
Sorry.
Come on in.
She signed.
It's signed.
Well, I don't remember seeing this offer on the table.
It's your original settlement offer of $250,000.
Along with the new inclusion of an admission of liability and no confidentiality.
I thought there's always room for negotiating.
Well, that was in D.C. Well, I guess $250,000 of wrongdoing is acceptable. Hell, my firm...
I know. Your firm's bar tab is more than that.
Oh, wait. I have a little something for you. Courtesy of Fidel.
A little contraband between officers of the court?
Well, I won't tell if you won't. Sit down. Let me buy you dinner. We'll trade old war stories.
I have to go see a friend.
I'll see you then.
I was hoping you'd be here. I want to thank you for helping me with this.
Congratulations are yours. You got Margaret what you wanted.
Then why does it feel like I lost?
I can't answer that, Renee, because winning and losing means something different to everybody. And I suppose sometimes it pays to know what it means to your client.
Graham, this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. When I saw Monroe again, it was like I was back in D.C. I could feel the juice again, the energy just pumping through my veins.
I thought you left D.C. to make a change.
I left D.C. for a lot of reasons. To get away from the casualties was certainly one of them. The heavy hitters there are like celebrities. Hell, we made more money than the president. It's all about fame, about making a name for yourself. And I just wanted you to know that I was caught by surprise at how much I'd missed that.
Renee, is this an apology?
Not really. Just a definition of who I am and who I've been. I admit that I can learn to be a bit more graceful. But if you and I are going to make this practice work together, you need to know who you're dealing with.
That is likely to be Mary Elizabeth. Again. Hurry, Diane and Imani. Help.
Your daddy's funny.
Well, Mr. Conrad, if you don't know how many fleas are on the ass of a prize-winning pig, which I believe was another one of your absurd questions, how do you know if Frances May got the answer right or wrong?
That's right. Really don't.
Mr. Conrad, is it correct that as registrar, you're the only one who reads the answers to the literacy tests?
That's correct. And I pass them or I fail them if, like her, they're too stupid to vote.
That being the case, why don't you read us a sample of what makes Frances May too stupid to vote?
Objection, Your Honor. A sample's not going to prove anything at all.
Your Honor, this is a stupid woman. Too stupid to vote in Alabama anyways. Hell, she failed the same test 6 times. She must be.
He's just playing.
I'm simply asking Mr. Conrad to pick the stupidest thing she wrote and read it to me.
Your Honor, there is no valid reason in here.
I will allow it. Now read it to me, Mr. Conrad.
I can't see good without my glasses.
Read it.
I told you I need my glasses.
Now.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I can't read good and you know it, you nigger son of a bitch.
Watch him now, Birdie.
Your Honor, if from this day forward any person gets in my client's way to register to vote, Mr. Robert Kennedy will be notified according to the Civil Rights Act of 1957.
Where we going?
And will lead an investigation himself here in Birmingham as to why. No further questions.
she is. What you doing? I'm going home. I'm sorry, Emmy. Have to object to that. Sit down right here and honor that. Nay, Jackson, did your mama do up your dress too tight again? Now! I think we should all be friends. But you don't like her.
I never said I don't like her. She said she don't like me.
And you treated her very badly, did you not? Why are you acting so nutty?
Her daddy's funny, too.
Because if we're not going to be friends, I'm calling the president. Because I think that being friends is good. And I want to ask you and you if it is okay for someone else to overrule this. Because I object to anyone telling me who my friends are going to be.
So, what do we do now?
I don't know.
Let's vote.
On what?
If we should be friends.
I say yes.
I say... I guess so.
And I vote yes.
Well, then come on. Let's go spin over the side of the bridge before it gets too dark. Now, hurry up.
Hey, girl. How are you? Where's Emmy?
Melba?
Renee.
In the kitchen.
Hey, Collier.
Hey, Renee.
I know, I'm late. I'm sorry.
How'd it go?
It's over. I'm afraid to ask, but where are Imani and Diane?
Both gone.
Oh, no, what happened?
Well, for Imani's part, she thought the Jet magazines were pretty funny, and she even thought the watermelon balls were sort of a hoot. But then, when Diane asked her what in the world Kwanzaa was, and wouldn't it really be better as the name of a board game, well, you know, that was the clincher.
And Diane?
Oh, where to start? Well, let's just say that if Imani hadn't thrown her out,
oh no,
I would have.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, you know, the truth is that not all old friends are good friends. So now, what do you say you come in here and play this bid whist game with us? It's great.
Where'd you learn how to play that?
Imani taught us before she left.
Oh, no, I've always hated that game. Now, poker. Boys, if this seat is empty, line them up. 5-card draw, 3 raise max, $5 ante, 1-eye jack, suicide kings, wow. Good luck, boy.
Put him in. I'm in. Slide her chips there down. We're here. Come on. Don't give her chips there, will you, bud? I'm rocking. Keep them coming.